What's going on, good people? Welcome to Serendipity Podcast Season 2, Episode 19. Want to talk to him about what we're going to discuss today, Oak?
Yes, sir, Ink. Please join us for a riveting conversation about community, peace, and balance.
Yes, Lord. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Serendipity with Inky Johnson, as well as across all podcast platforms and YouTube. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We hope you guys enjoy the show. Peace. What's going on, good people? Welcome to Serendipity Podcast Season 2, Episode 19. I'm Ink.
I'm Oak.
What's going on, Wazo? How you feeling, man?
Man, God, man, you just be slipping them in there.
Yeah, you know.
On the phone. Oh, man. Being real with you, bro.
Yeah, always.
It's a good day. Been going through emotionally a little bit, but being here, we've been here for a minute in this space.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? And
no doubt.
Kicking it with the great Simone and feeling the energy and the vibe. Yeah. I feel good.
Absolutely.
Saying all that to say, I feel good.
Solid. Man.
In this moment, man, I feel good.
Yeah.
How about yourself, doctor?
I'm all good, man. I kind of take life as it comes and as it unfolds, man. Don't sway too far to the left or to the right. Try to stay even keel, man, and just go as the wind go. So yeah. I'm all good. I got one for you, though, from the Sugar Boo. It says, we have no right to ask when a sorrow comes, why did this happen to me? Unless we ask the same question for every joy that comes our way. We have no right to ask when a sorrow comes, why did this happen to me? Unless we ask the same question when joy comes our way.
And when you're reading that, the natural response for me is balance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I believe in balance. I'll tell you a story in a minute, but I want to respond to what you're saying, what this card is saying. When something bad happens, the natural response is to give our attention to it, to give our energy to it.
Right.
But every day, every moment, you're breathing.
Yes.
Every moment, you have a chance at life because you're living, right?
Absolutely.
So we begin to take those things for granted. Like, we'll take for granted those things that happen naturally and those things that we don't even think about, right? So when sorrow hits, when something comes upon us that we didn't expect, like when tragedy happens.
Absolutely. From
the 9/11 to the bombings and the school shootings and all of that, we throw our attention into it. But like today, right, or yesterday at D Main Street Academy.
Yes, sir.
We had a situation where, technically speaking, nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
We got to celebrate that too.
No doubt.
We got to be like, "What? Hey, this was a good day." When Cube said today was a good day.
Today was a good day.
I love that song, but I love the notion of it because most days are good days. And we take those for granted.
No doubt. And
when you begin to take something for granted, then that's when your waters have to be troubled.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you thinking it's all good and you're not appreciating this great moment. You're not appreciating this good day. So when something happens that throws us off kilter, that's where we give most of our energy to.
Yeah.
So I think the saying is saying, be cognizant of those good days.
Absolutely.
Those wonderful days.
Absolutely.
Those days when nothing really happens or goes wrong. That we have to appreciate that as a wonderful day, as a great day.
Absolutely.
So I look at it like this, Ink. You got 3 different categories. You got the category of a trust, whatever the word is. Something bad happens.
Right.
Right. You got most days though are filled with just regular, nothing good, nothing bad, neutral days. Then you have those days of excitement. You get a promotion. Somebody wins the lottery, your kid graduates from college or graduates from high school, all of these things, these days of celebration. We have holidays and whatnot.
Absolutely.
So in those neutral days, what perspective are you going to take? Because the neutral days are really 90% of the days.
Absolutely.
If you think about it, you have 5% days where there's tragedy.
Yep.
You have 5% days where there's triumph. 90% of the days are neutral. So you have to decide and look at those days from the perspective of, okay, it's all right.
Yeah.
Or you can look at those days of, man, I sure wish I could be better. I wish, things wasn't the way they are. Or you can look at those days as, you know what, I'm so grateful that I got the opportunity to sit here with you. I get the opportunity to just be in the midst, to be in the number.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's really, to me, the saying of perspective.
Yeah.
Right? What perspective do you take?
Yeah. No. I was going to say, it's almost like trained optimism and training your way to think a certain way to appreciate something. But also it makes me think back to the thought of sometimes when you're so blessed, you lose respect for the blessing. Sometimes when you're so blessed, you lose respect for the blessing. Right? It's like a cat that wins so much, they lose respect for winning. Right? Now, essentially, you're not losing respect in terms of the essence of the blessing. What you're losing respect for is what it takes in order to be blessed, right? It's like you're not losing respect for the win. You want the win. You're losing respect for what it takes to win, the process, the discipline, the dedication, the commitment. When a cat is so blessed, they start to lose respect for the blessing. Meaning when you look at your children, you look at your spouse and say, man, I'm so grateful, man. I'm blessed, right? I got love around me, man. Like the roof over your head. I'm so blessed. Clothes on your back, the things that people used to tell you back in the day, man, be grateful you got food on the table. Be grateful you got clothes on your back. Be grateful you got heat in your house, right? Be grateful you got a roof over your head. To one, it sounds simple, right? But it's essential and it's powerful. Don't lose respect for the blessing. You bless so much, you lose respect for the blessing.
And what happens is you get infected with the disease of me. Which is
disease of me.
Yes, the disease of me happens when you experience a level, a modicum of success.
Yeah.
And you think it's about you.
I like that.
Right. Yeah. That's Pat Riley would say that all the time to the Lakers, and then when he was with the Knicks, and now building the culture of Miami at the Heat. Right. You get infected with the disease of me. It deteriorates your objectivity of being able to see the moment as a blessing, to see the moment and be grateful in it.
Yeah.
The disease of me makes you think that it is all about you.
Yeah.
And so once you begin to think that a situation is all about you, then you lose perspective. And in a minute, when you lose perspective, right, then you lose it all.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You lose it all. You lose those things that you take for granted.
Absolutely.
You lose the love and the appreciation for your family, being able to see your kids and be with your kids, to be with your family, to go to a job and have a profession that you love. You lose that.
Yeah.
Because you got infected with the disease of me.
That's good. Yeah. That's good. Okay, I got a question, man. I was speaking.
Might have an answer.
Might have an answer. I was speaking to a group. And they asked a real simple question, right? And the question was, what do you do on bad days, dog days, when you ain't feeling inspired, you're not feeling motivated, right? Life coming. What do you do? Ink? That's what they asked me. But I wanna shoot you to assist and say, what do you do on dog days, what some may consider to be bad, however you frame it? What do you do on those days when you feeling like, all right, man, my feet hit the floor, but man, I want to put them feet back up
in the bed and lay it down.
I think let me say this last part, because I think oftentimes, especially with me, and I had to be careful about it over the years, because I would speak and cats would hear my story and they would think I went from the hospital back into just the zone of things. And I had to start going back and be like, nah, it was a process getting to that point. And so when she asked that question, I was like, yep, I got to make sure I'm going back and I'm cleaning that up. But I want you to touch on it. on those days, man, when you feel like that? How you approach that?
Back in the day, and when I say back in the day, like when I first really became an adult, when I was a young Thundercat at being an adult, when we first met,
no doubt,
right? My response was to just put my head down and just do what I've been doing. Just grind through it, push through it, right? And that was beneficial in a lot of ways, yet it was also unhealthy in a lot of ways because I didn't take time for me. And it's ironic that you asked that question because a day like today, and in this season that I'm in, I understand that I got to make sure that I take care of my mental and my emotional self.
Absolutely.
So that's the first order of business. Like, is this a dog day or is this a critical day? Like a dog day is, okay, we in the rigmarole of just going through a day and it's regular and so forth and so on. I have a response for that. Right. If it's a critical day, then what I would say is stop. Stop.
Yeah.
If you got to go pick the kids up today, if you got to be dad today, if you got to be mom today, if you have to try to and lean into your community. Hey, y'all, I need y'all. I need the help. I need the support right now. No doubt. Can y'all take care of that? Because I got to take care of me.
No doubt. Yeah.
That's a critical day. A critical day is, I got to do what feeds me. I got to do what brings me joy. I got to just get back to and fill my cup up.
Absolutely.
And of course, that may be a couple of hours. That may be all day. It's not wallowing in your sorrow. It's just saying and acknowledging, I need my cup refilled. Because especially as people who are have been given the assignment of taking care of and looking after other people, whether that's as a mom, as a dad, as a leader, as a teacher, as in any capacity. And all of us, at some point in time in our lives have that role of taking care of others.
Absolutely.
Right? Just like we're being taken care of. Yet when you don't have it, a critical day or a critical moment is the understanding that I don't have it right now.
Yeah.
Then go get it.
Right.
That's why community is so important. Lean into the community I need y'all to hold me down right here. Okay. And for me, everything being a you issue. So for me, my job and my responsibility is figuring out the healthy ways of going and get my cup refilled. So that may be, let me call Inky.
No doubt.
Right? Let me holler at Bess, who I call Bessemer, right? Carl Sled. Shout out, Carl. One of the coolest cats I know, but when I call him, it's gonna be, what's up, down boy?
Yeah.
When I'm at my lowest of low, I can call him and we have a conversation. I'm on cloud 9.
Smile.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Having those people, those folks that when you call and the conversation is gonna be just wonderful, non-judgmental. It's not gonna be heavy. It's just gonna leave you feeling better than the time before you got a chance to speak to them.
Yeah.
And for real, man. Sled, thank you, brother.
That's real.
I'm just saying it for real.
That's real.
We call him Bessemer, he's from Bessemer, Alabama, but that's a lifesaver.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So what do? I get to my lifesavers.
Yeah. That's
and when you in your cool space, figure out who your lifesavers are.
Figure out who your lifesavers are.
Get to your lifesavers. And then the part about the other aspect of it, okay, it's not a critical day. It's just a trying to get through day, right? That's when I would say, go do the things that bring you joy. Do the things that's your passion. For me personally, I go teach.
Yeah.
I go and teach mathematics.
That put you in the zone.
Put me in the zone, bro. And then when I come out of it, I'm like, I can conquer the world. Like me and Barack Obama can walk side by side. Yeah. He got to come see me. MJ can be on the left side. MJ got to come see me. When I go in that classroom and teaching that mathematics, you got to come see me.
No doubt.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's the place where I feel like, you know, only person that can't come see me is God in that situation. That's just how I feel.
Right,
That's
no
why
doubt.
I go into, you know what I'm saying?
That's the type of time you on.
That's the type of time I'm on. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
You got to come see me when I go in that mathematics classroom.
Yeah.
That 8th grade math, boy, stop. You better go on somewhere. But what I'm giving to them, I'm also getting back in return.
Yeah, it's feeding you.
Yes, it's feeding me.
Yeah.
So you get through those dog days by being conscientious of doing the things that feeds you. Like, go get it. Go get it. If some people, it's working out. For some people, it's taking pictures. Some people, it's drawing. It's writing. Whatever it may be, bruh.
Yeah, man.
Go get it. Go do it right then. Stop what you're doing. Go do it. That's how you get through those dog days.
Yeah.
And then in those critical days, I'm just saying, in those critical days, stop.
Stop. That's so good, man. Like, and people take it for granted so much. It's like, you hear people joke about the airplane saying, right? When they say, put your mask on first, you hear cats joke about it. But it's a real thing. And it's like I always tell cats, man, get you some real cats around you, man. Get you some real cats around. Stop running around with cats that just want to take a picture for Instagram. Stop running around with cats that just want to do a video for Instagram, right? Y'all call it networking, but you just want to link up and look like you doing something for Instagram. It's cute. It's cool. You look like you popping, right? Yep. You look like you successful, whatever that may be. You get around cats and you just talk to them about what you trying to accomplish, what you got, and what you doing. But if your marriage on the rocks, you can't call them, right? If your daughter in the rehab, you can't call them, right? If your son somewhere on the corner strung out, you can't call them, right? Get around some real cats. Some cats that if you going through something, you could pick up the phone and say, hey, man, I'm going through. I feel like I'm about to break. And they like, where you at? I got you, right? Yeah. It gets some other cats on the phone. Let's go pray for our man. Get you some cats. You and your wife going through. Hey, man, we going through it. Can you pray for us? No problem. We'll be there tonight. Get you some cats. I told him, man, when I went and spoke to an NFL team, man, I can't say the coach's name. I got so much respect for him. I went to speak for this team. Oh, and I'm talking to this brother, good brother, man. We talking. He's like, man, I just got back from this city. I went to get my sister out the project. She was strung out on Lord knows what. And they called me and told me, hey, man, your sister down here, she out bad. And he was like, they looked at me and was like, what you gonna do? He was like, we in the middle of camp. I got a team full of men. They like, what you gonna do? He said, what you think I'm gonna do?
I'm going to get my sister.
I'm going to get my sister. I went on a plane and I went and got my sister. Put her in a facility, got her cleaned up, got her straight. Get you some people that will go and get you, man. Like when you going through it, they like, where my man at? I got him. Get around some real folks, man. Because every day, every second, is cats checking out and saying, you know what? I yield. And they waving that white flag. There ain't nobody there behind them that's saying, no, bro, I got you. Like, I got you.
Man. And the thing I want people to understand is there's no judgment in waving the white flag.
No doubt.
There's no judgment in that. Because just like everybody gonna leave this world, everybody, you gonna be cremated or whatever, thrown in the ocean or put in the ground. Everybody, they day gonna come.
From the dirt you come, to the dirt you shall
Exactly.
return.
Exactly, right? But everybody gonna go through. Everybody gonna have those moments of waving that white flag. Absolutely. Which is why community is so important, which is why getting you a group of folks who gonna ride with you. Just like we talked about last week, you got to get you some folks that's going to ride with you.
Right, wrong, and indifferent.
Right, wrong, and indifferent. He could have been like, man, why do you know why she doing that? What happened? Woo, woo, woo. No questions asked. I'm going to get my sister, bruh. We talk about it on the back end.
Absolutely.
If we talk about it at all.
Absolutely.
But the most important part is I'm going to take care of my folks. Take care of your folks.
Yeah, man.
And have some folks around you that's going to take care of you, because the day is going to come when you're going to need taken care of.
Better believe it.
If you don't think so, that is your ego.
Better believe it, Doc. Better believe it.
For real, man.
Man, you know, I was talking to my mom. Like, I talk to my mom every day. And I didn't realize, like, I talk to her when I'm trying to figure out certain situations and how to approach them, right? Mm-hmm. It's just like I talk to you when I'm trying to figure out certain situations and how to approach them. I feel like I always say, time and experience oftentimes trumps knowledge, yes, right? Yes. Knowledge is great, right? To have that foundation. But when you talk to people that's been living life a little bit, experienced some things, and you ask their insight and advice, oftentimes it shifts your perspective and how you view things. And I had known my mom had been through, you know, some levels of trauma in her life, been through some adversity and opposition in her life. And I was just asking her in terms of, how do I deal with people that may be experiencing a certain level of opposition, adversity, trauma that I encounter on a daily basis, from a patient standpoint to an understanding standpoint? Me and you discuss empathy, right? All of those things, being empathetic, trying to understand a person, because we can go and we can say, hey man, press through it. Mm-hmm. Be strong. It's a time and a place for that, right? But it's also a time and a place to say, hey man, I appreciate you. You're doing a good job, man. Keep weathering the storm. I see you, right? Yeah. I got you. And trying to figure out and discern when to use one method and when to use the other method can be the total difference between life and death.
Really?
For a person, like literally, right? And so I often ask that question because I really want insight in terms of, because I know how I'm wired. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. And this is one of the things that I've had to come to the realization of. I had to learn me. I know me, right? I'm headstrong. I'm the cat. I'm that bull. Let me out. You know what I'm saying? That's me, right? Yeah. And so I approach things that way. And so when I start dealing with other people, I'm trying to figure out, all right, what's their capacity? How much can they handle, right? What gets them going, right? Leadership. I'm trying to learn people so I don't approach everybody with the same method and the same blueprint and thinking everybody is going to go at something the same way. And so I'm just trying to be an effective leader, effective father, effective husband, effective team member, and a productive citizen in society.
Yes, sir.
So I got to learn how to deal with people and what approaches and methods to take when I'm dealing with them so I don't send them down the wrong road and they end up crashing out because I told them to do something that wasn't beneficial for their spirit and their heart.
Love, what you're talking about is love, brother.
Yeah.
And love is an action verb.
Mm-hmm.
And I particularly look at love as my action. The action is the work that I put in to get to know you.
Yeah.
So I know that you're headstrong.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going, everything that I tell you in terms of when you ask me my advice or ask me my insight on something, I'm not going to give you my insight on something. I'm going to give you my perspective on you and how you should take that insight on the thing, what we're talking about, right?
All right.
Such meaning, how should I get at, the people that I deal with every day? And you a go-getter type person. Then I would say, you need to have lunch with them. Go and take them breakfast. Or in the afternoon, say, hey, young Thundercat, whoever it may be, come go with me as we take Ink to Lil Ink to go work out.
Yeah.
Right? You being active in being around them so that, because the objective is to learn who they are.
Absolutely.
And once you learn who they are, the universe, God is going to show you how to deal with them.
You great
I can't
at
tell
that,
you.
Man.
Huh?
You great at that too. Like what you explain it, you great at that. It's one of the things I admire and respect about you. But keep breaking it down, picking it up.
So what happens is you you're creating the environment. But because you're a go-getter, I would say for you to do that.
Yeah.
Right? Someone else who may be a little bit more introverted, right, in their attempt, but they asking the question, like, how can I help this person?
Yeah.
Then what I would say to them is, write them a note. Let them know that you're there. Or send them a text. Say, hey, this is me, whatever. Hit me up whenever you need me.
Yeah.
I'm always here for you. Okay. Or when they wake up in the mornings, just send that person a note just saying, hey, I woke up thinking about you, love you. Real subtle.
No doubt.
Because you're giving them you.
Right.
If you are a person who's more introverted, more subtle, So so if you ask me that, because I know who you are, I understand how to assist you, how to help you help someone else.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm,
yeah.
Know what I'm saying?
I'm
so
picking it up.
That's the whole piece. Like, you have to work to get to know a person.
Absolutely.
Like, I got, Cuzzo is all the way in. She's sort of like you, just headstrong and just going boom, boom, boom. So we have to have talks at 1 o'clock in the morning when everything's settled down. Because in the middle of the day, she's going. Her
T in the zone.
Yeah, she in the zone until I know she's going to settle down about 11:30. That's when I know to talk to her.
Yeah.
She's going to be able to receive me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I had to learn that. I may be like wanting to talk at 3 o'clock in the evening. She's not at a place to hear that because she got her thing going.
No doubt.
She's going. So it's really just the action verb, the action, love being an action verb of working to get to know a person.
Yeah.
And how they function. Then once you understand that, then you can get in where you fit in with them.
That's important with relationships, in terms of intimate relationships. That's important with our children. That's important in sports. That's important in organizations.
Yeah. Yes.
Because when you take time to get to know a person, it can help you become both efficient and effective in terms of your leadership style.
Yeah.
Right? Because oftentimes we just want to approach somebody and say, hey, man, get it done. Get it done. I don't care. Get it done. Now, that sounds cute and cool, but at what expense? Right? Like, one of my buddies is a CEO of a company, Alta State, but he used to work at Walmart, right? Before he started owning his own company, they do great. And he said when he was at Walmart, they biggest in the world at the time, doing their thing. He in a leadership position. He young, he running, ambitious, strong. He said when he coming at people or when he negotiating, he just like, hey, I'm Walmart.
Yeah.
So you can say whatever you want to say, but sooner than later, you're going to have to play by my rules. And I know it. And so I'm coming at you brash. I'm coming at you tough, rough, because sooner or later, you're going to have to give in. And he said, I had to learn, by definition, if you win every fight in my space, you losing. He said, because you can win every fight and you can win every negotiation, you think, but sooner than later, you're going to beat your distributors to a point to where they're not even going to want to do business with you. And so you think you winning, you think you headstrong and ambitious, you think you winning every negotiation, but sooner than later, they're going to be like, you know what? What I got to go through to put up with you, I'd rather just go somewhere else, man, because it ain't even worth it.
What did Ruben say?
You know what I'm saying?
What did Ruben say?
If it costs you that piece, it's too expensive.
It's too expensive. Like, you're right.
Yeah.
You get to a point where you costing people their piece.
Yeah, man.
They ain't trying to fool with you.
I ain't fooling with you by no means.
Right.
By no means.
And also what I thought about during this conversation is in terms of assisting ourselves and assisting other people. Like, there's a teacher, one teacher. She's wonderful that I work with. She's an 8th grade science teacher. And I've seen her grow and I've seen her get her bearings about herself. She's brilliant, right? Brilliant science teacher. Yet she had to get to a place of having confidence. And now she's there and she's rolling, she's good. But my way of interacting with her, she's gonna get a hug from me.
No doubt.
Right? Every morning she's gonna get a hug because that kind of, what I learned just in terms of the work of knowing someone, that just recently happened. But that fuels her.
Got you.
Right? It fuels her and gives her confidence. Oh, he got me, he supports me. She always know that, but she gets just a level of just energy and can just really become even more confident with the kids. Then right across the hall, my partner for show, I go and we just talk $100 worth of shit.
Yeah. what y'all talk?
We talk $100 worth of shit. You know what I'm saying? And that fuels him. Like, he is an amazing teacher.
No doubt.
But I have to be two different people with them in terms of being a leader for them, right?
Yeah.
And what happens is I had to work at that because I had to figure out who they were.
Yeah, man.
And neither one of those is really who I am in essence.
No doubt.
That's the example of what I'm saying. You're pouring into other people and you're supposed to, and that's wonderful.
Yeah.
But then there are times when your cup gets depleted.
Absolutely.
Bringing it back full circle. Yeah. When your cup gets depleted, then what do I have to do?
Yeah.
Then I don't go in neither one of their classrooms. I go in their math classroom and say, bro, you sit down. You can sit down for this class period. I need to get myself together.
Yeah.
And teach some trinomials, some factoring.
Yeah.
So the Pythagorean theorem, we got to get there. We got to get to it.
That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful.
So it's really, as you say, you learning yourself, learning who you are, learning what you can give, learning who you need to give it to, how you need to give it to them, and then learning how to get what it is that you need.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's full circle. It's not just giving, it's receiving as well.
Hold on, man. Say that again. Oh, I just felt it in my spirit, right?
I don't know what I said.
So I'm saying, look, no, you said learning what to give, how to give it, but also learning how to get what you need.
Right.
Like that's what I'm strong,
saying,
man.
That's what I'm saying. When you in that place of how to get through a day and get through the dog days, what is it that you do? What you do?
Absolutely.
I'm going to go teach mathematics. Mm-hmm. And if it's in the fall, I'm going on a football field and I'm finna coach some offensive football. Mm. I'm finna coach a quarterback on just getting the stance right. Mm. It was like Tom Brady and Teddy Bruschi.
Yeah.
Right? And Teddy was like, yeah, my son playing quarterback.
Yeah, he was like, put him on. Yeah.
Put him up here.
Yeah, put him on the FaceTime. Let's go.
Put him on the FaceTime and let's go.
Yeah.
That's because what that did more for Tom just as much as it did for Bruschi's son.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't fake that either.
Exactly. Let's get it.
Yeah.
There's no money attached to it. There's no fame attached to it.
Go.
Tom never talked about it. Bruschi just talked about it and talking about Tom.
Absolutely.
But the satisfaction I imagine that Brady got for just being able to impart whatever those things that's in him and his passion. Impart your passion onto people gonna always feed you. Mm. That's what fills your cup.
No doubt.
Impart your passion.
I journal. Oh, like that's the thing that brings me back to center. A couple times a day I journal. And I often think about with my children, I got a journal for both Inky and Jada. I got a journal for Allison, and I got a journal for myself. And I often think about, how like when something happens to a person, right? And whether it be a parent, whether it be a friend, whatever the case may be, and people go up to him and say, hey, man, let me tell you about your father. Or let me tell you about your mother. Let me tell you, man. Let me tell you about, your friend. Let me tell you about him, right? When they come up to you and tell them, right? And that's cool and that's great and that's beautiful because everybody has their perspective, their experiences, and their encounters. Mm-hmm. But the reason I journal to my children, both, and I journal to my wife, and I journal to myself, and I don't even know when I'm going to give it to them, right? I don't have a date that I'm going to give it to them. I just do it and I keep them to myself, right? Saying one day they going to get them. But I explain decisions, choices, goals, dreams, aspirations, fears, convictions, right? Things that I often think about when I write to myself. I'm in there writing things that I'm fearful of, things that I need to work on, right? And the reason I do it is because it does something for me. I feel like that's my life guide to my children.
Yes.
Like one day when they get it, right? Lord forbid if something happens to me and people going to come up and say, man, let me tell you about your father, right? And that's going to be cool. They're going to listen. But if they can go back and say, man, I got this journal. This is who my father is, right? Without a doubt, I know who my dad is. Like I know decision-making, choices, what he stands for as a man, why he stands for, the things he did to us and for us, why he did them, right? And having that, for me, that fills my cup because it's like, that's preparation. That one day when they go out into the world, they got something that they can always come back to, whether I'm present or not, that they can say, man, I know these my father's words. This is spirit. I can always go back to that. And I always say to people, oh, it's something about when you write down something to yourself, it does something to you.
Yeah.
When you write down your goals and your dreams to yourself and you see them, right? It does something. That level of conviction, if you wrote something down at the beginning of the year and you look at it and you're like, man, I ain't done a damn thing about this.
Bring you back.
Brings you back.
Bring you back to it.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's get it. Let's get it.
And so I got one I want to read to you, man, and get your advice. Calm and quietude is not real calm. When you can be calm in the midst of activity, this is the true state of nature. Happiness and comfort is not real happiness. When you can be happy in the midst of hardship, then you can see the true potential of the mind. Happiness and comfort is not real happiness. When you can be happy in the midst of hardship, then you can see the true potential of the mind.
Man, we ain't finna be fake. What I wrote on that card? What I wrote on that card?
Law. Create your peace, baby.
That's what that means, man.
Create your peace.
You create your peace. When you're able to be happy in the midst of the trial and the tribulation, in the midst of the storm.
Yeah.
Then that is when you create your peace. Peace is not when it's tranquility. Peace is not when the sun is shining in the blue skies.
Write this down.
That's not peace.
Gotta write this down, dog.
Man, that boat was swaying, right? They were at the sea. The boat was swaying.
Talk to him.
The boat swaying. I mean, I'm just saying, the boat swaying, right? They at the sea. The boat swaying, and all the disciples and whatnot, they're just panicking and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And there was this gentleman down in the bowels of the sea, and he was asleep.
Sleep.
Jesus, do you don't hear what's going on? You can't feel this boat rocking.
Sleep.
In the midst of the storm. And Jesus got up and went to the top and said, peace be still.
Peace be still.
The winds and all of that, the water stopped. But Jesus also said, why y'all tripping?
Why y'all tripping?
If I'm asleep, why y'all not asleep?
Why y'all tripping?
That was the test of your faith. That was the test of your being able to create your joy in the midst of the storm. Like, for real, man. For real. When shit is happening and it ain't going your way.
Yeah.
Like in the past few days, shit ain't been going my way emotionally.
Yeah. Talk about it.
I mean, from the beginning of December to the end of January, the number of funerals I've been to from having buried former athletes that have played for me, family members, classmates, and I still haven't processed all of that. Still haven't processed all of that. And feeling like, man, you know what? Some days I just feel like I'm not enough. I'm not enough.
Yeah.
And I know those are me issues, and I know that's me internally just trying to figure life out, and this is the season that I'm going through. But man, if I was doing any better, I still had to go to heaven.
Yes, sir. Yes, Lord.
Because in the midst of these storms, I still got to create my peace.
Got to create your peace, Doc.
That's where peace is.
Yeah.
When you in the midst of the storm. Peace is not when you're on the back side of it or the front side of it. Peace is when you in the middle of the storm and you can stand up and say, peace be still.
Peace be still. Man.
And lay your ass down and go to sleep.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
That's what, look, happiness in comfort is not real happiness. When you can be happy in the midst of hardship, when you can be happy in the midst of the storm, when you can be happy when it ain't going my way. I'm not winning. We see in sports all the time. The real great ones are the ones who, when they're losing, they find a way to win anyway. But they find a way to win because they don't get moved by the moment.
Yes, sir. Talk about it.
They don't get moved by the moment. They don't. When you in a marriage and you don't have good days, in a series of good days, you're not like, man, I'm finna get up out of here. I'm finna check out. No, I'm gonna create happiness.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna create happiness. I'm gonna create laughter in the eye of the storm. Adeoju, that's my surname, creating happiness in the eye of the storm. Now you got happiness whether things are going great or things are going shitty. It doesn't matter. That's true happiness. That's true peace. You create your peace. You don't go find your peace. Peace is not at the end of the rainbow. Wealth is not at the end of the lottery ticket. Wealth is not at the end of the week when you get your paycheck.
Yeah.
You create it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because you came into this world. We were born into this world with everything. We were born into this world with peace. Right?
Yeah.
The reason that you came here was to experience hardship, was to experience life in all such forms, in chaotic forms. Then what do you do in the midst of that? Can you create peace in the midst of whatever life throws at you? Now you cooking with hot fish grease, man.
Yes, sir. The quote says, when you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person that walked into it. That's what the storm is all about. When you can't control what's happening to you, control how you respond to it. That's where your power is, right? They asked the elderly couple one day, they said, how have you guys been married for so long? He said, we come from a generation when something is broken, we don't throw it away, we fix it, right? And when you think about calm and happiness, it's not real calm and happiness in quietude. When you can be happy in the midst of hardship, then you see the true potential of the mind. You think perspective, you think peace, and you think more so controlling how you respond to a situation.
Yep.
Right? It says that's where your power is. When you can't control what's happening, control how you respond to it. That's where your power is. Control what you can control. That's the first thing I go to. All right, in this moment, if it's going out of my way, if it's going out of control, if it's spinning out of, what can I control in this moment? I can control my attitude. I can control my words. I can control my perspective. I can control the lens of which I see it. What can I control in the moment when I can't control something externally, right? Because if I can control what I can control in the moment, what's happening externally is not going to affect and impact my true potential and my true advancement as a person, which is the things that I can control when I'm viewing a situation, when I'm responding to a situation. Most importantly, can I use it?
And what I'm saying to you, Young Thundercat, is those things that are outside your control are not even real at all.
Not even real.
The only thing that is real is the thing that you can control.
Yeah.
The only thing that is real is your belief in God. God esoterically is not real. Your belief in God is what's real.
Yeah.
Right? Me being here right now is literally not real. Your belief in me, your ability to see me is what makes me real. My ability to actualize myself is what's real. I know we're going deep in the waters right now, but I want people to really feel me on that.
Yeah.
Anything outside of your control is not real. It is not real. It cannot affect you.
Talk about it.
It only affects you when you allow it into your reality. That's the only time it can affect you, because that's when you can choose to respond in a way that is not going to be advantageous for you. Gotcha. That's the only way it becomes real.
Yeah.
So every day you wake up, you have the ability to create your peace. You have the ability to create the heaven that you want. If you don't see it that way, if you don't feel that way, then guess what's about to happen? You're about to create the hell.
Had to create the hell.
You have the power of creation. That's why you were born. That's why God sent you here. To create the thing that you want, right? We have the power to create the things that we want. It starts with our words. In the beginning, it was the word. I think that's what that book say. Don't it say that?
Yep.
So you have the power to be whoever, whatever you want to be.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not saying this in no, grander type way. I want to be rich. Come on, man. If you want to be rich, then you better define what rich is.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I want to be wealthy, then define what wealthy is. I want to be tall. I'm gonna say then being tall is 5'9".
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I want to be tall by somebody else's definition.
Teach.
As long as you're controlling the narrative, then you get the opportunity to create your peace. Then that's where your joy, your heaven is created, man.
Yes, sir.
We got to stop living by other folks' expectations.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Man, that blessed me, man. And we, like you would say, we done pontificated long enough. That blessed me, man. That made me happy, man. And so we could take them up out of here with this. So, and then we got to do a word. I got a word for you. it says happiness always looks small when you hold it in your hand. But once you let it go, you truly see how precious it is. How would you define happiness?
Being in absolute gratefulness of the moment.
Yeah.
Being grateful of the moment. That is automatically, it's going to lead you, it's going to result in your happiness. Like for real. No doubt. In every single moment, you process what's happening, you process your feelings, rightfully so. You want to be sad about it, you want to be mad about it. Because being grateful is not an emotion. Being grateful is a principle.
Yeah.
Any emotion, happy, sad, mad, all of those, and there are a plethora of them, right? Of emotions. If we are in a place where we are still pressing for the principle of being grateful, then regardless of your emotion, you're going to be able to exist in a place of peace. And that place of peace is where your happiness resides.
Yeah. Yes,
right? So being grateful, pressing for gratitude, and the principle of gratitude, and not necessarily living for or putting our energy into our emotions. Put your energy into your principles. Let your emotions lead you. Let your emotions guide you. But your energy goes to your principles. And one of those principles is gratitude.
It says emotions are great servants, but terrible masters, Doc.
Yes.
Emotions are great servants, but terrible masters.
Principles are your masters. Principles are your masters.
Well, good people, we appreciate your time, appreciate your support. Greatly appreciate your ear, man. Me and the big dog. Give him a word, man. Take us up out of here. Give him a word. Oh.
Walk in, speak in, live in, teach in, whatever is on your heart. Walk in, teach in, believe in, speak in, whatever is on your heart. Peace.
Peace.